everyone, Shane R. Monroe here. The Viture, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, Pro XR glasses. This is not a compensated endorsement. I paid full price. Nobody's paying for me to review these. I just wanted to figure out what all the hubbub was about. So let's get these things unboxed. While we're unboxing, the specs will be here on the screen for you. And I gotta admit, the packaging's pretty cool once I figured out how to open the damn thing. And here are the glasses themselves. They're inside of a hard shell protective case. We'll open these up in just a minute. And then we have here some hair covers and some other stuff. We'll look at those later. And look at this. I love this quick start guide. It tells you exactly what to do, what to set up, and how to immediately engage with your glasses, including what all the buttons do. So that's really cool. Inside of here are some additional nose pieces to help you get the best fit, something to protect your hair during the clip-on process, all sorts of interesting stuff in here. Again, something they probably didn't have to include. But let's open the glasses now up proper. And up here you have a small spot that holds the actual cable itself. Now we'll just pull this out of here. And this is USB-C on one side and a proprietary magnetic clip on the other. It's very strong. It's perfect for a breakaway cable. I understand exactly why they did it, and great job on that. And of course, the glasses themselves, which are not winning any fashion awards, but that's really not what we're here for. They look a little bit on the chunky side. You can tell there's a lot of the electronics in the arms here. And yeah, we have the adjustments for your eyes. So if you're myopic, you can use those. We have the firing speakers, which are okay, not great, but I've definitely heard worse. And of course, a single button with a rocker sort of button combo here for volume and brightness. And yeah, we'll look at these a little bit closer later on, but that's the box. All right, so I'm going to put these guys on. You can see from a fashion statement point of view. Yeah, okay, yeah, you, me, look here, yeah, whatever. All right, so when you're using your phone acts as a laser pointer to work the virtual menus. So this works on iPhone or Android. Everything I've done today is on the Android, and I will be doing some PC work as well. So that's pretty cool. It's like a pointer, and you can also use it as a trackpad if you'd prefer. I've found reasons to use it both ways. Now, what you're actually seeing here is what you would see inside the goggles. This is your home screen, and your home screen has a whole bunch of different things. So I figured I'd just use the company's visuals to help out. Essentially, everything is driven off of either a video player or a browser. And you have several open windows. You can use your head. So you have 3 degrees of freedom where you can look, or you can use the laser pointer to get around. So it actually works. It actually works fairly well. It's a pretty decent UI. And again, there is a video player that will let you play your own content, but it's kind of sketchy. And once you're in there, you can do things like flip over to 3D and some other stuff. We're going to talk more about that in just a minute. Here's the browser itself. It's a very basic browser, but you can check your email. You can get some work done on it. I just wouldn't look for it to be great. Now, once you're in the browser and you're looking at, say, something like YouTube, and yes, you can sign in, so don't worry about that. You don't have to watch ads. Once you're signed in, you can use this flyout menu on the right to help dictate how the video plays. So if, for example, you find some 3D side-by-side videos on YouTube or other 3D content provided websites, you can use the goggles to display them. Now, of course, I can't show you what that exactly looks like, but it can do side-by-side, top or bottom. It does not use the red greens or the other ones that like Pro 3D type stuff uses. It's typically side-by-side. And of course, with side-by-side, you're starting to cut the resolution down, which means at the end of the day, you're kind of looking at this squarish looking thing in 3D in the middle. Now, it doesn't have to be that way, but most of the content you're going to find out there does present itself that way. You got to kind of cross your eyes a little bit. Now, I ripped RIPD 3D using DVD Fab, using the highest resolution possible with some ideas that I picked up from online. And yes, it becomes so much better. VLC is going to be your friend for playing back this type of content. It has different viewing modes that will be most helpful. Now, while these glasses will plug into phones and the Steam Deck, you might be tempted to think, well, maybe I could plug it into a Switch 2 or a regular Switch, but unfortunately, No, the USB is proprietary enough where these do not work there. And likewise, if you want to use an Xbox or any of these sort of devices with HDMI, you can hook these into this adapter. I'll have a link in the description. Unfortunately, you have to power it. But then once you plug it in, you get your 60-foot screen right there in the front, and it does work out. It's just, unfortunately, a little bit inconvenient when using devices like this. So that's an unfortunate side effect, and that is not included. So I'm out here in the Phoenix sun with the glasses on, and I'm sure they're not a great fashion statement. But yeah, I'm watching YouTube while I walk. Totally legible. And if I engage the dimming feature, I can see the YouTube brilliantly, even out here in the Phoenix sun. So pretty damn cool. All right, I was able to plug these into my laptop. I got clearance from my work to let me install the software on my laptop. And yes, you can have up to 3 virtual screens. You can type, you can use the mouse pointer and everything else. It is literally like having a 3 monitor workstation, and it works remarkably well. It's clear, it's easy to use. I could recommend it for that. All right, so it's time to look at the last big feature here, Viture's Immersive 3D. Yeah, okay, so it promises to take any 2D image or video and turn it into 3D using the power of AI and in real time. There is no processing to be done here. You don't have to run it through a converter or anything. You simply open it up in YouTube, watch it, and then flip a switch and turns it into 3D in real time. The question, of course, is, does it work? And the second question is, how well does it work? Well, I can tell you with the right situations, it works. In other situations, it does not. You really have to be tied to their player. If you cannot use their player to play back your content, so think Plex, Jellyfin, some other third-party streaming solution, you are probably going to get locked out of the 3D bit. Now, what about your own 3D files or your own content of 2D pictures and video? Yeah, it actually works well. You can use, if you use the built-in player, of course, it works fantastic. Now, using VLC along with the button on the glasses, I was able to get decent results using Plex as a DLNA server and some other little tricks. If you want to see a follow-up video on that, let me know. But I do assure you it does work, and it's better than you think it is, which is pretty cool. All right, what about the Steam Deck? Well, when you plug it in out of the box, you just get a big screen. There's no adjustments or anything like that, but it still works. Decky Loader offers a plug-in that's free for basic features, $10 a year, $25 for a full lifetime access. It does offer some really neat stuff, especially 3D gaming type things. It's probably worth looking into if you're a Decky Loader user. Well, of course, it's not all sunshine and moonbeams. Let's talk about some of the bad stuff. Field of view aberrations, yes. Some of the external edges, right? Just like with VR, you might get a little bit of blurriness. It's not a problem for the most part, but if you're doing serious work, coding or something like that, it might bother you. But for the rest of the time, it was just fine, just a little inconvenient. Audio concerns. Yeah, it doesn't get super loud, but it's loud enough for the most part, and you can use an app's override to get around some of that. And of course, there's privacy concerns with how loud you can get it without pissing the guy off in the next seat on the airplane or your significant other, although I was able to keep it down low enough where my wife and I could coexist pretty easily. You may need compatibility accessories. You may need an HDMI adapter or something of that nature, and you'll probably need one if you're thinking about using this with, say, the Switch 2. The 3D isn't always as simple as it could be. There's some challenges there, and we talked a little bit about that. Lack of streaming service support is going to kill a lot of folks. Not much we can do about that. You can work around it by using the apps, but you're going to be seeing them on the screen. Steam Deck support without a plug-in is kind of basic, and Decky Loader's been a little bit twitchy lately. And finally, the overall software maturity of the system could use an upgrade, but it is totally serviceable. Now, let's remind our good folks at home the good stuff. This is relatively affordable. I got a discount right on Amazon, 380 US dollars. The cheapest one out there is about 299, and this actually punches way above that class. So extra 80 bucks and you've got that. The display quality is insane. You have to see it. I wish there was some way that I could show you through a video, but I can't. You're going to have to see it to believe how crisp and clear that display is and how bright it is. It is feature rich. It does have 3D playback, the electrochromatic darkening, which is really, really cool. So there's plenty of features to be had here for that price range. It's comfortable for hours of use. I sat in a hotel for several hours just laying back on the couch, watching videos off of Plex. It was fantastic. Very comfortable, very lightweight. Once you have it dialed in, the 3D is pretty damn cool. I mean, the immersive 3D stuff is cool. Playing your own 3D rips is really cool. You just have to put a little extra legwork in if you want to get great results. This device is truly usable for almost anything. For doing work, ad hoc work. Imagine sitting at an airport having a 3-screen display on your desktop for working, media, gaming. It pretty much works for everything. So I think that the positives way outweigh the negatives on this one. I gotta say, I had every intention of making this video and returning the glasses, but a recent vacation with 2 nights in a hotel changed my mind. It was so great to be able to watch my favorite shows on Plex, play Overwatch on my deck, and lay in bed next to my wife while not watching cheesy animal shows on ad-supported TV that she was watching, yet still be able to be present. There are a few things that might give some folks pause, but I really feel I can recommend these for most use cases. If you rely on a web browser for streaming apps, this may leave you a bit frustrated since using the native phone apps don't offer you any sort of privacy and force the content on your phone to be viewable. If you're a Plex user like me, the browser works a treat, and while you can't route Plex through their default player for immersive 3D compatibility, it is perfectly fine for me. There are a few glasses that support nearsighted compensation as easy as these do, and not having to wear glasses or use special lenses means I can pass these glasses around to family and friends in real time, and that's really worth considering. I could spend another hour or more talking about these glasses, 3D tricks and tips, and media playback considerations, but this video has been long enough already. If you want follow-up videos on these topics, leave a comment down below, and of course, while you're there, like and sub. It means a lot to me. Oh, and yes, I am using the glasses as a teleprompter for this segment. Pretty neat. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.